everybody. Today we are going to make autumn apple pie scones with a maple cinnamon glaze. You want to preheat the oven to 400 right now, and then we're also going to start taking a large bowl and add all our dry ingredients in. So let's take 2 cups of the all-purpose flour. Just kind of spoon it in here just like this. Any type of nice crisp or tart apple is perfect for this recipe. And nice and level. So we have 2 full cups of flour. You want 1 tablespoon of the baking powder. It's going to give it the nice rise to it. So make sure it's nice and full but level. Add that right in. Then we're going to take some ground cinnamon. You want 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Just kind of shake it until it's nice and level. A 1/2 teaspoon of nutmeg. Nutmeg a little bit stronger, so that's why we use less. And then a 1/2 teaspoon of table salt. Add that right in here. Just take a wire whisk, mix it around really well. Make sure you have some very cold butter. It's very important that this is very cold. Okay, I actually just took this out of the freezer. Okay, that way I can put it on the grater right here and it will make the recipe go a lot quicker. When you do bake these, you want to bake these for 22 to 24 minutes. You're going to get about 8 nice sized scones out of this. So we're just going to take the grater and just shave this down here. So frozen butter, when it says very cold, is perfect. Okay, and you can see it doesn't stick on here, just makes it nice and easy to crumble. Try to use the unsalted butter, because unsalted butter, you're starting with no salt in the recipe, and then you know exactly how much to put in there. 1 stick of salted butter has a 1/4 teaspoon of salt in there already. So if you only have salted butter, reduce the recipe by a 1/4 teaspoon. Okay. Now this is just about all grated. Just be careful of your fingers. And then we're going to take our hands and we're just going to crumble this up. Make sure you get all the butter off of the box grater. And now, going in with, I'm going to use gloves on this. You can use a pastry cutter if you want. And just crumble this up nice and easy. Do not overwork it, okay? Because otherwise you can make the dough a little bit tough. See how that crumbled just like that? That's all you need to do. Let's take a medium bowl now. We're going to take some buttermilk. Try to buy the store-bought buttermilk. And you want a 1/2 cup of the rich buttermilk. Try not to substitute it with heavy cream milk or half and half. The buttermilk will make it come out really, really well. Then we're going to take a 1/2 cup of brown sugar. Light or dark is fine. Just make sure it is packed. Okay, add that right into the buttermilk. And you want 1 egg. If you can, take the egg out a little bit sooner. Okay, just so it just kind of comes to room temperature. It will just incorporate nice and easy. 1 teaspoon of the pure vanilla extract. Never use the imitation because there really is no flavor with that. And then we're just going to take all these ingredients here, these wet ingredients, and whisk this up really well. Going to leave this to the side. In the meantime, I'm just going to take 1 apple, 1 medium size to 1 large apple. Okay, if you have small apples, use 2 of them, but just not too much. So we're just going to peel the apple, and then we're going to dice it, and we're going to add it right into this mixture right here. Again, these will take about 22 to 24 minutes, okay? And while they are baking, we will make our cinnamon maple glaze. That will be really perfect going over these scones. Now we're just going to cube this up and add it into the wet mixture. Okay, you can always kind of shave off any little apple that's on the core there. A Granny Smith apple would be perfect for this. Honeycrisp, Fuji, an Ambrosia apple would be really good. And just chop this up. And we're going to add this right in. Okay. Let's just take our apple, add it right in here, and just kind of make sure you get it coated so this way it doesn't start turning in the room temperature air. So we're going to take the wet ingredients and we're going to add it into the dry. And take a spatula to make sure you get everything out. And let's just combine this just until we see no flour in here. Okay, don't overmix it. It will be a kind of a sticky dough, but we are going to put a little flour on the table, and then we will just kind of, it'll be able to work with it a lot easier, and then you'll be able to cut these into 8 scones. Okay, make sure you scoop from the bottom as well. Get all that flour mixed in. You're going to want to have a baking sheet out with either parchment paper or a silicone baking mat. Very important to protect the bottoms that they don't burn on you. Okay, so this is a very thick and sticky dough. Flour just about gone. And we're going to start shaping this now. See how there's just a little bit of flour there? Make sure that's all mixed in. Go along the sides of the bowl. And it has plenty of apple in this. There it is. This is perfect. So we're just going to lightly dust our work surface here. Take all of the scone dough out. Make sure you get everything out. You're going to pat this and shape it into an 8-inch circle. Just kind of take it and toss it just like this. Just kind of get a light coating of flour on the outside of it. By rolling it, that will help it work nice and easy. So we are going to start shaping this. Again, about an 8-inch circle. Right there. You do want to bake these right away. Make sure that the temperature is up to 400 degrees before you put it in the oven. You're going to cut this right down the center. Slide that over. And now we're going to cut this into 4 equal parts. Try to make sure that they are somewhat the same. And then we're just going to brush the tops with a little bit of cream. So either half and half heavy cream or even a whole milk would be okay. Cream or half and half works better though. If you like a little crunch to it, you can always put a little bit of the raw sugar, turbinado sugar on there, but not necessary. It's just a preference if you like something like that. And while these are baking, we will make our maple cinnamon glaze, so that way when they are cooled, they will be ready to go. So this is the the silicone baking mat that I have it on. I'm just going to take a little bit of cream, just put it in a small bowl, just a little bit, and we're just going to kind of lightly brush the tops, like that. These will freeze really well. Make sure that whatever ones you're not going to eat on the day you make them, put them into the freezer. and then just pull them out until they're room temperature, and then you can kind of just put them in a microwave for maybe 10 seconds just to kind of freshen it up just a little bit when you're ready to enjoy them. Okay, so let's pop these into the oven and we'll make the glaze. Okay, so to make the glaze, we're going to take a half cup of the powdered sugar, put it into a small bowl. You want a half of a teaspoon of the ground cinnamon and 2 tablespoons of maple syrup. Put one in at a time, whisk it, and then just make sure you need the other tablespoon. So we're going to put that in. Just going to give this a good whisk. And I can see we definitely need the other tablespoon. And then just get all the powdered sugar that is up against the side of the wall right here of the bowl. Okay, you have to hit it back off your whisk and just kind of mix that a little bit better. If you need to add a little bit more maple syrup, which I think I do, just a little bit more. Slowly add it, just because then you may have to add more powdered sugar just to get that right consistency. And then when they come out of the oven, the scones, we're going to take just a spoon and just kind of drizzle this right on. Okay, so this is perfect. We're just going to let that sit, and then we'll put them on our pie. So our scones came out. They took about 22 minutes. They are nice and cool right now. Look how big they get. They get really a nice size. So one of these for breakfast or brunch would be perfect. So we're just going to put these on a nice platter. And then we're going to take some of the maple glaze and drizzle it all over these scones. And you could put on as much or as little as you want, depending on how sweet you like it. If you take a spoon and you just kind of just go something like this and just give it a little bit of glaze, okay? If you like it a little thinner, because you do want to have a nice coating onto the scone, you can add just a little bit more of the maple syrup. I used about 2.5 tablespoons, so you kind of play with it. Always add a little less to start, and you can always add more. But these are perfect for brunch. After you put this on, they will freeze really good. Okay, so once you put the glaze on here, they still will freeze excellent. So I hope you will make these. I hope you will enjoy these. And any of the really good tart or crisp apples work really well. And it's just enough glaze for the 8 scones. If you like them a little lighter, and I'm just going to show you, see how it's nice and soft here, okay? If you like it a little softer, just put a sheet of aluminum foil on the rack above. It just prevents them from getting too dark too quickly, because you are cooking them at a 400-degree temperature. So these are our autumn apple pie scones with a maple glaze. I'm going to hold these up. Perfect for a fall brunch, Thanksgiving morning, all fall, any time of the year. Apple's always in. Everybody, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Yesterday,